Alright, budget magic time. Playing some more godly Panharmonicon, or God-Pharaoh's gift Panharmonicon, whatever. In standard. And this hand's alright. We get to lead on a Dunes and pay some life for a Thraben Inspector. A little bit tap land happy, but I think this is fine. Pass the turn. See what our opponent's up to. Port Town, untapped. Probably the blue-white monument deck would be my guess. Seems most likely. But it could be control. They revealed a plains though. It's got to be blue-white monument. Opponent passes. We get a Port Town. Well, let's Port Town. Reveal Prairie Stream. Get in with our Thraben Inspector and just plan on cracking the clue. So hit our opponent down to 19. Pass the turn. And hopefully we can get down Panharmonicon before Champion of Wits. Opponent plays an island. And there's a Militia Captain. Alright, so this is most definitely blue-white monument. Our opponent likely also thinks that we're blue-white monument. So let's play the plains and just play a Eldrazi Displacer. Pass the turn. Now the jig is up. Jig? Something's up. Our opponent knows that we're not monument. Opponent has a monument. Well, let's see which generates more value. The classic Panharmonicon versus Oketra's monument battle. Play Panharmonicon, get in with Displacer, pass the turn. So our opponent probably has a limited number of cast outs that can deal with our artifacts, at least in the main deck. There's a Bygone Bishop. Yeah, you do that, opponent. You make your clues and pay mana to sack them. That's fine, sure. Opponent gets in with the Militia Captain and passes. We draw a Port Town. Well, play Port Town, reveal Prairie Stream, Declaration Stone Bygone Bishop. If our opponent wants to counter this, they do not. Well, now I guess we just go attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's just pass and leave up Displacer activation. I think that's fine. Rather than getting, yeah, something spell quellered. Opponent, spell quell. Wait. At the beginning of your upkeep, 4 more creatures transform. Well, instead of getting a clue, I think we just blink a token so this doesn't transform. What's our opponent got? Another Bygone Bishop. Yup. Goes attacking with the crew. And we might have to start staying back on defense. Still a little nervous about a counter. Down to 12. Well, I think we play Chef at Dunes. Play Champion of Wits. Do some looting. Opponent has Spell Queller. Gets a clue. Oh, are we in trouble now? What happens if we... No, I don't know what happens. Alright, let's just pass and see what happens. We might be in trouble. Double Spell Queller is pretty good. And our opponent, of course, had the Oketra's Monument. Opponent plays a Cloud Blazer. So many flyers. Attacks with everything. So what happens if we blink this Spell Queller is the question. Do we get back Champion of Wits? I don't know. I don't know what happens here. This probably does not work, but we're going to try it. Blink Spell Queller. Okay, it does work. So we get back Champion of Wits. Draw 2. Discard 2. Those cards don't save us. Draw 2. Discard... these cards don't save us either. Discard Champion, and I guess second Panharmonicon? I think we're pretty dead. Block, block, block. Take 1,000,000. Opponent gets a 1/1. We draw nothing. We gain 8, but we still... Well, I guess that's our best bet, is Eternalize. Discarding a plains. So we gain 8 life. Play Dunes. Pass the turn. So we're not just dead yet. Opponent has a plains. Goes to combat. Attacks, 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 attacks. Attacks. So eat a couple tokens. Opponent has Stasis Snare. For Displacer. So we have to displace this thing. Take a ton. Yeah, we got a top deck here to have any hope. Another champion. Well, let's Thought-Knor Seer. Get a peek. Take Dust to Dawn. Take Monument. 2, 4, 6, 8. Well, I think we live. Play champion. Go up to 10. Opponent's out of cards, but they get to sack a clue. 2, 4, 6, 8. Block, block. Well, I think we gotta attack here. I think we gotta try to kill our opponent somehow. I think our out is to draw our Drowner of Hope. Opponent blocks. Pass the turn. Hope our opponent doesn't draw anything awesome. Sacks a clue, draws a card. Flips the Militia Captain. Draws something awesome. That is what we were worried about. Yep. And draws more awesomeness. We're running out of time. And we don't really have a sweeper, which further complicates things. Opponent. Attacks, 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 attacks. So we block. Take a bunch of damage. Down to 2. Opponent gets a 1-1. We draw nothing. We go up to 10 and we still lose. Yeah, we're going to scoop. Alright. That's unfortunate because we're playing Dust to Dawn as our main Wrath, which little bit sketchy against a deck that is also playing Dust to Dawn. I think we can just outvalue this deck though. So what do we want in this matchup? Probably removal. We might have to just go down Gluttonous Crane. It makes our curve bad, but maybe something like this. Maybe we got to go down to 1 God-Pharaoh's Gift. Let's try it like that. Alright, we get to play first. We get to mulligan first. This hand's super bad, but we're going to try it. Just based on Champion of Wits alone. Well, put the land to the bottom, since we already have a million. Island, go. This hand is not giving me hope for the future of this match. If we resolve Champion of Wits, that could improve our hand at least. More lands, go. Opponent has Westfall Abbey, and a dork. It's a Militia Captain. More lands. Our deck loves the lands. Champion of Wits. If we draw 2 lands. Oh boy. Well, get rid of Rivulet, get rid of Plains. Pass the turn. Hope our opponent does not have Monument. Opponent has Monument. That's not good. Cloudblazer is helpful. Well, let's play Sheffet Dunes. Play Thought-Knor. Take, oh man, our opponent's only non-land. Angel of Sanctions. And it's exiled. Get in with Champion. Alright. Well, our opponent's hand is not great. Hopefully they don't just peel a Cloudblazer or something. Bygone Bishop is pretty good. That gives our opponent cards if they draw cards. Opponent passes. There's Stasis Snare. Well, play Rivulet. Get in with Thought-Knor Seer. See what our opponent does. Opponent takes it. And I think we're going to hope to get a bit lucky. Let's just Cloudblazer. Draw some cards. Ooh, Cast Out is also good. Alright, pass the turn. We're hoping our opponent just doesn't draw a creature here to get a clue. There's a land. Opponent passes. Okay, that's good news. Oh man, and a Displacer? Well, play the Plains. Get in with our Thought-Knor. Also, I think we attack with Champion of Wits. We're kind of okay with our opponent just killing this. Opponent does kill it. Blocks Thought-Knor. Blocks with Handweir Militia Captain. Well, we will Stasis Snare. Get rid of Bygone Bishop. Sweep the board, essentially. And run out a Displacer for the future. Now, things are looking up. Our mono land hand turned into mono action hand. Dust to Dawn would be good for our opponent. And our opponent scoops it up. Well, that was a quick one. Yeah. I guess we keep it like that. Run it back. Alright, we're going to try this because Cast Out is a good answer to a lot of our opponent's stuff. Hand is pretty slow, though. Well, let's Prairie Stream. Pass the turn. God-Pharaoh's Gift's only good in the late game. Another tap land for our opponent. And passes. Well, Port Town, reveal the Plains. Pass the turn. Our opponent being on the play does make our... Ooh, alright. Cast out a little worse. Opponent has Militia Captain. Well, port down, reveal a planes. Get out our Displacer on defense. Next turn, we can cast out something. If our opponent has a monument, we can just immediately cast out it, which would be pretty helpful. Anointer Priest, interesting. Opponent passes. Well, play Chef at Dunes. And we're just going to pass, leave up our cast out, leave up Displacer Blink action, and see what our opponent finds. Next turn, we can Cloud Blazer. Another land for our opponent. Angel of Sanctions. This is actually pretty good. We might get a free kill here. Takes our Displacer. Goes attacking. Oh, yeah. Cast out is going to pay off right here. We get to cast out. Hit the Angel of Sanctions. Get back Displacer. Kill Militia Captain. That went about as good as it could possibly go. And now we will just follow up with Panharmonicon. Get in with Displacer. I mean, now our opponent has to counter this Cloud Blazer, else it's pretty close to game winning. Cloud Blazer. Oh my god. Yep, sure. Opponent gets the Cloud Blazer, but we get double Cloud Blazer, which is a little bit better. Opponent gets in with Anointer Priest. Hits us down to 18. Oh, things are looking up. We get in with Displacer. Hit our opponent. Play an island. Play double Cloud Blazer. Oh, we got to tap for white. Double Cloud Blazer. Draw 4, gain 4. So good. What do we get? Another Displacer. Ooh, there's a Champion of Wits too. And a cast out. Alright, that was pretty good. Oh, Champion of Wits is so key for this deck. Champion of Wits lets us fuel our God-Pharaoh's gift as well. Opponent. Another Cloud Blazer. That's fine. Finds an island. Goes attacking. Sure. And passes. We draw a Cloud Blazer. Well, let's lead on... Lead on Champion of Wits. Do some drawing. Do some discarding. We'll discard land Champion. And... oh boy. Cloud Blazer land. Now we get to play Dunes. Get in with Displacer. Geez, do we just blink Blazer right now? I think we're just going to pass. We have another Cloud Blazer in hand, so if our opponent uses removal in response, that's fine. Relatively fine. Opponent has all the Cloud Blazers. Yup. If we get our opponent to tap out here, we get down God-Pharaoh's gift, which is pretty big. So we're just going to block a Cloud Blazer and then try to blink our Cloud Blazer. And if our opponent uses a Stasis Snare, we God-Pharaoh's gift, get back Cloud Blazer. They do not. We draw some cards. We draw some cards. There's a Drowner if we get it down. Still at 21. Opponent looks to be leaving up counter magic. I don't even know if we want to do anything. Play Dunes. Get in. Well, let's pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So we have 2 blinks plus 2 mana. Maybe we just get back our Champion. Yeah, let's just get back Champion. Discarding Champion. Because we're going to be discarding to hand size anyway. Gains us a bunch of life. And now we'll just pass. Discard a land. Yeah, I guess we just, well, let's discard a Cloud Blazer. Opponent has a Port Town. Untapped. There's a Bygone Bishop. Thraben Inspector to get some clues. Yep. This is going to be quite the battle. Opponent goes attacking, goes attacking, goes attacking. Well, block with Cloud Blazer. Blink Cloud Blazer. So draw some cards, gain some life. Alright. If we ever get our opponent tapped out, we can just win with our combo. Opponent's passing. We get a Thraben Inspector. Well, let's go to combat. Get in with our Champion. See what our opponent does. Opponent blocks. Sure. Play a land. I don't know what to do here. I guess we can Stasis Snare to get rid of Bygone Bishop. Opponent has Spell Queller. Gets a clue. And Stasis Snare again. Hit a Spell Queller. Get back Stasis Snare. Stasis Snare. Get rid of Bygone Bishop. And now we'll pass. Opponent draws a card. We'll discard our Thraben Inspector and a Rivulet. Opponent has a land. Gets back Anointer Priest. Gains a life. Handwear Militia Captain. Opponent, no attacks. So let's just get rid of Anointer Priest. Trying to play around our opponent's counters. Another Displacer. Well, go to combat. Get in with our champion. Opponent takes it. Play the island. Another Displacer. Opponent counters. Down to 2 cards. Another Displacer. Essence Scatter. Well, I think we go for it. I think this is the time. Run out Thought-Knor. Check our opponent's last card. It's a land. Well, this is it. Our opponent needs to top deck or else we win. So this is their chance. I think they got to draw Dusk to Dawn. They do have clues they can crack. If they do draw into Dusk to Dawn, that could make things complicated. All right, Stasis Snare helps them, but doesn't end things because we still have ways to deal with Stasis Snare. Cracks a clue. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I'd love to just draw Fragmentize, but we can still attempt to go infinite next turn. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we'll take it. We got enough life, we don't really care. Hopefully our opponent does not have Dusk to Dawn. Down to 17. Alright. Well, I think this is a turn we go for it. We draw Port Town. So I think we just lead on Cast Out. Opponent has a Spell Queller. That is an annoyance. Wait, does this work? This might still work. Play Drowner. I think this does it. I think we got there. We get our Scions. Start our combo of making Scions. Blinking Drowner. So we get to go infinite with tokens. Blink our Drowner. Get some tokens. Blink our Drowner. Next turn we can play a second Panharmonicon, which makes it even easier. Get some tokens. And our opponent scoops it up. Well, thank you, opponent, for scooping it up and not making us go through it. But another win for God-Pharaoh Panharmonicon. Deck is super sweet. Oh, man, this deck is sweet. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, take a minute and click that subscribe button. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and you'll find the next video in the playlist right here.